so you know I don't speak too much. Walk like I don't speak too much. Walk it, those I like. You know I'm coming. Let me ride around you. Let me ride around you. The don't you know I'm coming. Let me ride around you. Let me ride around you. Cause I like.
Yeah. 10 days in a foreign land without you here. Dead weight, I've been holding on to my let go here. Still in the rush right here. Still in the rush right here. Still in the rush right here. Right here. 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. 10 days, 10 days, 10 days.
Let me ride around you, let me ride around you. The don't you know I'm coming. Let me ride around you, let me ride around.
Second. I think people can hear us. Just have to I'll just run the stream here and quickly check. Proxima Mumbai. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Can you see the stream on your end? I think I can. No, it's we are on. It's already. It's okay. No, it's fine. No, nothing too serious. We're good to go. Okay. This is the first Proxima Mumbai live stream. So we have an agenda for today, which is how to build a personal brand as a young operator, right? Like that's one thing that's super important today's day and age, because distribution is king, and that's that. And you've built some of your own distribution over the past few years of being a developer and now an investor. So I think let's go from step one. Where did this begin? Like, when did you start posting, and when did you find the need, and when did it all start working? And I'm assuming, this is my assumption, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, in the first like 3 months you had like no ROI of posting. I mean, of course, first 3 months everybody has that, and eventually got something out of it, right? So let's start from there. Maybe give your very small introduction so everybody has context, but otherwise I think we're good to go. Right. I think people are saying there's no audio on your side. One second. I can hear you faintly. Let me just quickly check here. Seems like a weird issue. One second. Can you try speaking? Can you try speaking? I can hear you, but one second. Seems like a weird glitch. It's like faint be back. Uh, I think we would have to start. We have to
Okay,
start
it's
again. OBS,
no
OBS
worries.
nightmares. But okay, so hi Pratham. We'll just do a we'll do a redo so nobody figures out we messed up on the studio end. But okay, cool. Thank you so much for joining Pratham. So this is the first live stream slash webinar for you know Proxima Mumbai, and this is regarding distribution and how young operators can sort of build a brand, right? And I think you have a lot of experience doing that simply because you're doing this for like so long. I mean, you've been posting for like 5 years, 6 years. Is it 5 years already?
Five, 6 years, yeah,
6 years,
about that much. Yeah, yeah.
right? And from the time you started posting, you were a developer, did some DevRel, you were in crypto for the longest time, and then now you're an investor
It was
and
a bit
completely
behind
away.
that. Yeah, we'll get into it. So, like,
Correct.
uh, first of all,
So
thanks
yeah,
for having
करते हैं.
me.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll start with a small introduction. It's always better that the guest introduces themselves because a lot of times I just end up missing a lot of key details, and then people get angry, right? So who's Pratham? What is he doing right now?
Yeah, so thanks for having me here, Yash, and thanks for being here, guys. So, I'm Pratham. I have been sort of. I mean, I never intentionally built my audience. It just happened by itself. But I'm a self-taught engineer. I did not go to college. I've been doing this Twitter thing since I was in 10th grade. Taught myself how to code and got into AI, worked with the government of India, wrote a couple of articles for them on explaining how AI works. Then I worked at a bunch of startups like a fintech, a couple of crypto companies, and right now I work on few projects of my own. I invest in companies, and I work in my family office. So those are the things that are going on right now. But how this all started is like I never really looked at Twitter or social media as a way for me to get any ROI out of it. I like how Twitter happened is I was in school. This is 2019, and I just wanted more friends to connect with on on computer science, programming, and just interests of my own. And like my school had very few people who were into those sorts of things. So I made this Twitter account to log into a website where I could learn how to code. That's how I made my Twitter account. But then what happened during COVID, and I was in 10th grade, I happened to like post this meme. It was about like some quirky JavaScript behavior, something related to currying or something like that. I don't quite
Right.
recall, but I posted it and it got like 3,000 likes and 300,000 views by chance. Like I did not plan any of this, and I realized that there's a very big audience on Twitter, like lots of people, lots of like-minded people that I can talk to about my interests and interact with and whatnot. And uh, ever since that happened, I just like posted about my like the things I was learning in AI. I was like just learning about computer science, things I found interesting, and I kept doing that essentially. Uh, and that's how I was able to like I built an audience. I never really never really wanted to use Twitter for sponsorships or anything like that. It's just like sharing my interests like that. Ended up making lots of friends, and that's how I just happened to work at all these companies. I got a bunch of opportunities and whatnot. But yeah, that's sort of the story. And then
How has
when
Twitter changed since like the time you started? Like what are
I
some
think like
things that
the
have evolved?
I think like the audience, like the people that were on Twitter back in 2020 were very different. Like, this is before Chat GPT and LLMs. Like everyone was just
Right.
talking about JavaScript frameworks and like Tailwind CSS and all of that. And right now it's like all about like AI, like vibe coding, do this, that. And like now I don't think most of us like write code for front end even, to be very frank. So
Right.
there's a lot of things on that side. And I also feel like the content was different in the sense that there was lesser AI generated content, which was nice in a lot
Right.
of ways. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's how Twitter was. Also, I think it was very political before this, and I mean, could just be me, but right now all I see is like technical posts and like engineering stuff. Like it's very different, and I think the algorithms changed quite a bit. Also,
No, I
it
still it's still as weaponized as it was before, but I think feed curation has just become so much better for the end user, so that
that's true.
we just
That's
don't
true.
see that side of Twitter.
And also, like, I
So
think like how engagement works has gotten a lot better. Like before, it was like if your tweet didn't really do well in the first like 5 6 hours, it would never do well, almost ever. But like if now it's all about uh I think Twitter rewards authenticity a lot more now, which I really love. So I'm net positive, I would say.
interesting. I've been seeing a few, even startups, sort of for individual founder branding or even like company branding where they automate the posts in a certain way, so that there's always some content on the platform for people to
Mhm.
watch. So in a way that sort of hinders authenticity, right? So that might just be a bad idea. But what are your thoughts on that?
I I really think like most people value authenticity. Like I think everyone's tired of reading those LLM generated posts, and I mean because they all sound the same. Uh, you see the M dashes, you see the same sort of
Correct.
like tone of them speaking. So it's like I think we all get tired of it. And generally you'll see like it's always some buzzwordy AI thing that's not really very full of substance, a lot of fluff. So yeah, that's why I I really enjoy reading posts that are not written by LLMs. So like yeah, just don't get them on your feed. Is what I would
Interesting.
say.
How do you optimize your profile to essentially be taken seriously, right? Because essentially you're a young operator. There's practically not much that has been done in the career side of things, right? When you're younger, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
So
So
how do you
I
manage
think
that?
so. Like I think the biggest like asset that you have as like when you're young is that uh like first of all like you have to be really authentic because I think like if you want to win on social media in the long term you can't really fake it like you can't pretend to be someone you're not, right? So like be authentic, that's step one. But step two would be like just post about things you're really obsessed about. Like, if you love math, like try to explain something in linear algebra. Like this is something I used to do like when I was in like 11th grade and 12th grade. I wrote a few posts about like linear algebra for machine learning, or like how like false positives or true positives, like F1 scored, like technical things like that. Like I was learning about. I found it really interesting. So I wrote about that. And that the reason why I was able to write so well about it is because I really loved understanding it. And when you explain that in a very like engaging way to an audience, just like sharing what you're doing, I think that's the best way to grow. And it's also authentic. And the cherry on top is that it's something that you like, so you understand that topic better too. So I think like that's one of the best things you can do when you're young. Just something you're really obsessed about, like share the coolest things you know, right? That's how you like find your niche and you post about it. And yeah, it's really fun that way.
Interesting, right? So a lot of times people end up experiment on things which I think do not matter. I think frequency of posts is something which is over indexed a lot when people try to say, okay, why am I not growing, or okay, why am I not getting seen in a way, right? So you think frequency is something which people should not care about to start with? Just focus on authenticity. Just put like 3 posts a week at max. Like, make sure those are authentic and then scale up from there. Like,
So I think
is that working
yeah,
forwards or
so
backwards?
there's an asterisk to the like point about authenticity, right? You
Right.
have to be authentic, but at the same time, you do realize that social media is a game of numbers. It's a game of engagement. Like the more people that engage with your post, the more likely the Twitter algorithm is to recommend your post to others, right?
Right.
And I think a part of that is you being consistent on Twitter. And sometimes when you do that, you tend to like there are times when you can lose your authenticity. So like you know I think like frequency does matter.
Right.
If your sole purpose is to like grow an audience, but always try to like not lose your authenticity, because then it feels like a job. It feels like you're doing something for the sake of just doing it, and that's when the quality of your work declines, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
like again, just find the niche you're really interested in. And I think if you're really interested about something, I think you can. There's a lot of things you can post about it, right? Like, you love learning about AI or machine learning. Then there's like 10 different things you can write about. There's always something new happening. So like that's how I would treat it as. Like I feel like social media is just a goal, like it's not the end goal itself, it's a means to an end. Like you use it for something. Like I used my Twitter partly for my US college applications. I wanted to put an activity that I did, right? That was one of the
Right.
goals I had. But then my focus sort of shifted to just like what I really like doing and connecting with like a lot of like-minded people, right? And that's why I know you, for example. Like I met you
Right.
because of like all the connections on Twitter. I've met lots of other interesting people, and that I want that intellectual stimulation. So for me, I use Twitter for that reason. I think some other people use it to find jobs. Some other people use it to build a brand, to do something else, right? So figure out what you want to do and then post accordingly. I would say it depends
Interesting.
on
So
that.
I have a weird, I've seen this weird thing on social media now that long form is very slept upon. And I think that's
I
where
agree.
I think the alpha is right now. I mean, just look at a Tiger Feathers, right? Just look at like one of their articles. Have you read any of those?
I have not, but
Yeah,
I'm
those
going
take
to
like ages to read, so you might have to take a few hours out of your week to sort of get
a
one
few
through.
hours.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's almost like a mini book of sorts, right? So these guys just
nice.
write very passionately about like one startup or like one space, and that's where you find a lot of really loyal sort of audience members, and most of the times people who engage in long form content often happen to be much, uh, how do I say this? Belong to a belong to a paying class, right? So eventually, if you wanted to monetize, it becomes
They're
much
more
easier with a
passionate
smaller number,
about it, right? Yeah.
right? So that's
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
in your case, I'm not sure if you've tried long form, right?
Oh, I wrote a lot of long form content.
That was
So
the
Twitter.
blogs you wrote before,
So before Elon took over Twitter, essentially what you would have to do is if you want to write long form content, you either make a Substack and you share a link, which Twitter penalized a lot. Like your engagement just tanked. Or you start your blog, or what you do is you write a thread, which is like a lot of tweets chained together.
right?
Right. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
explained a lot of concepts. But now Twitter does a lot of long form content. And I think like yeah, people also like the quality of audience that likes long form is a lot better than the audience that does not. So it really gives you your own space to like, yap about what you really want to. Long form content is great. I think Substack is. I read a lot of math related articles on Substack. I really like it. And like these are the audience that you build by doing that is like very loyal to you. Like it's something that they will subscribe to your newsletter. They'll read it every week. So like I think like smaller tweets work for like work when you want to like share opinions or like fleeting thoughts, so to speak. And then when you actually have
Right,
something like a thesis, for example, like I think you guys do a wonderful job with 3F. Like those are the kind of like long form articles that really help in building like a long term audience. I also really like this guy called Ed Zitron. Like he writes a lot about like the AI bubble that's going
right.
on. So that's really fun to read.
Yeah,
And like,
that can be a really good segue to today's conversation, but I really don't want to go there. But those kind of posts, in which in a way you would say Exitron is like contrarian in a way
yeah,
that
very much so.
works in favor in terms of getting a lot of reach and people who would like to read about things a little deeply. So I think being contrarian sort of helps on Twitter. Is that fair to say or
I
no?
think I'll frame it. I'll frame it this way. It's like the short
Right,
form tweets, short form content helps you grab the attention of your audience, and then like long form content helps solidify that audience as
right.
to show you as someone who understands what they're speaking about and you know about it in depth. So, like, I think that's how I'd see it. But like, honestly, just do what you really like. Like again, authenticity, what you really enjoy doing. So, writing long form content is a job by itself. So when you have the time, write long form content if you want to, right? If you'd rather just do short form content, then that's fine too. Just depends again on what you're interested in.
Interesting. That's super cool. So okay, so let's talk about how, let's say a founder can sort of go about personal branding. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but there are a bunch of agencies, which charge you
Oh,
$10,000 a month to sort of ghostwrite your Twitter in a way, and promise like X number of followers or X number of impressions, and that's becoming like a decent industry, at least in the Indian founder space. It's very nascent, but that's something which is very new. What do you think about those? Like, is that process repeatable? And if it is there a way to crack it so that the founder can, in a way, automate it so they can focus on their own, startups, while their reach keeps growing in a
I
certain way?
I somehow feel like a lot of this is performative. Like depends on the context, right? I'm not calling out anyone specific, but
Right,
like a lot of the times founders will do this so that they get clout on Twitter, which I personally think is meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Like, no matter how much fluff you have, if you don't have substance, like
right,
what is the point of being a founder? And like I think a lot of times like these VCs and other investors get really impressed
right.
by like XYZ amount of followers, and like it can be a signal, sure, but it's like again, what how have you gotten those followers? Like what do you do with it is what it's all that matters. Like if you just buy out an account with bots, that is a
Mm-hmm.
low quality audience. What are you going to use those followers for? Like use those followers for in this context, right? Because
Correct.
eventually these founders want to market their product or whatnot. But like, yeah, it's just, again, um authenticity, I think everyone values a lot. So like if you are getting a ghostwriter, that's fine, but like I think like the voice, the content, the ideas should come from yourself, in my personal opinion. So I like everything on my Twitter, like I've not like it's all written by me. I don't write AI generated tweets or get a ghostwriter. And like I feel like that works for me. Depends on like other founders, maybe they don't have the bandwidth to do so, but like just try to be authentic is what I would say.
That's fair. That's fair. I think a bunch of things which are still sort of very very less crowded, not a lot of less competition. I think spaces on Twitter is, I think, very underutilized. I think that can be something which can be picked up soon. Because Clubhouse was a thing back in the day. That's
I
where
was
I
going
think,
to see Clubhouse, yeah, back in
right.
the day.
You were
Mm.
on Clubhouse. You were an early user.
I was. This is when like the whole crypto thing was going crazy. We had BitClout, like all those. Yeah, I remember like A16Z. A lot of folks from there loved Clubhouse. Was like the next radio or something they called, but like eventually it failed, and then yeah.
Why do you think it failed? Because it,
I
in a
think
way, it's the
it
most authentic way of expression, right? I mean, you're just walking around and just speaking in a way, and it's just as authentic as it gets.
I think the problem there was that everyone was unemployed during COVID. Like everyone was at home, so like everyone just
Right.
had,
Huh.
that's why Twitch had like record like users in COVID, but then it like
Correct.
up and down. The problem is like everyone has to be on at the exact same time, which is an issue. And also, I think the quality of spaces like also depends on that, which I'm not sure was the best on Clubhouse. But yeah, also like the social graph that you have on Twitter, it's very hard to replicate that on another platform. Like I don't know how you would go about building those network effects again. So I think that's why Clubhouse failed. But spaces, yeah, I agree, very underutilized, but you need to have like a dedicated audience to do that. And
I
I
think
feel
we
like if
can run an experiment around that. I think that's something we can definitely do. Like one day every week, just like sit and rant about one idea or like one
I
specific thing.
I would say don't just do spaces. Do
Okay.
a space. Do like an Instagram live stream and do like a YouTube like live stream all combined in one, and like you do it all at the same time. Because I feel like people just want to view the content whenever they can at
Right.
their own time. Yeah, because we are not in lockdown mode anymore, right? Everyone has a job and like people just want to listen to the ideas when they can. So that's what I think.
There's like a very very quiet ecosystem around Twitter about getting tech jobs, and there are a bunch of spaces that keep happening every night where people sort of come and discuss. Okay, I have an interview tomorrow for this thing, and this is like every day. You can just chime in and you can just listen to young developers talking about, hey, I have an interview tomorrow. What should I be doing? Which is
Cool.
it's fair. I mean, I'm sure there are a bunch of different small ecosystems which people have, and it's like constant people, like 60 people are listening all the time. Like that's that, like those are the type of spaces. I'm assuming it's placement season, so that's why this seems to be a thing, but not sure if it's seasonal always. But yeah, you're saying
That's
something.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. But I think like something like Discord would be nicer for these sort of interactions because then you can actually share. Yeah, that's another thing. Like a Twitter space is very limited in terms of like you can't share your screen, you can't really like do much on Discord. Like you can share screens, you can share texts. There's
Right.
like a chat and everything. So like yeah, it depends. Actually haven't done a Twitter space in a long time. Maybe we should sometime.
Yeah, I think the conversation about what your views are around AI and the financing around it, we should definitely try a few spaces.
Oh, 100%. I'm
Once a week, we like start at 9 is a little too early, like 10 p.m. and like continue it till however ever long.
right. No,
That seems like a
down for
good
that.
idea.
Down for that. Yes.
I think podcasts are super crowded. No? So I mean, if because see, I
Oh,
started with podcasts back in there, never got the distribution through it, but you know back then podcasts was like still fairly new. I mean, there was just like two three good ones, and then
mhm.
at least in the India side of things, and now I think they're super crowded, and I think everybody is optimizing for the short form, reels, the hooks, and all that stuff. So I think it's still crowded. I think there's still ways to break into it. But if it were you, if you were to start this all over again with the information and knowledge that you have, what content format would you pick so that you get close to the distribution you have right now?
Oh, Twitter, 100%. Not even close. And the reason why I say Twitter is just that imagine having access to like some of the like some of the top people in tech
Right.
ever. Like you have Sam Altman, you have Elon Musk, you have the CEO of Box, the CEO of Dropbox. Like all these people, they're just on Twitter, accessible to you in some way, right? Like you can reply to tweets, you can engage in conversations. There's not a single other platform that can do that. On Instagram, it's like very non-technical, sort of like chill content. I don't see a lot of like rigor in the content there. On Twitter, you have access to like AI researchers, like the best of the best. It's where all the alpha is still. So the quality of audience on Twitter is absolutely miles above Instagram or YouTube. YouTube is a very one-way conversation. It's not really two-way, right? Is it?
Right.
So um, would have to be Twitter for sure.
What do you think about LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn seems to have a lot more engagement than other platforms, and this is because CFBR is a culture there. On Twitter, I don't think CFBR works. If you if you CFBR here, you probably get banned. But I think getting. Do you think eyeballs should be easier on LinkedIn? Just because everybody just spams likes whenever they see a post about a
Y-
person they
You
know
know,
about.
I never I use LinkedIn for like shit posting, right? I have 15,000 followers and I don't know how. Like it's just like
Right.
followers have come from other platforms there, which is cool. But like I see like I feel LinkedIn's very performative. Like no one's like really it's just corny and cringe. It's not the same as Twitter. I mean, Twitter can also be that. But like, yeah, I don't think I can have like very technical conversations on LinkedIn, to be very honest. Like on Twitter, the research papers I read, like 5 days or like a month later, I'll see it on LinkedIn with some crazy, like, like, oh my God, new discovery in AI that everyone on Twitter knew like a month ago. So LinkedIn's okay.
Right.
I will say LinkedIn. There have been a few times where LinkedIn is cool, where it's like people that don't use Twitter, like I have a few friends who work at Jane Street, like they just use LinkedIn. So like, uh, to connect with them, like LinkedIn was fine.
Right.
But like, yeah, primarily Twitter is like as much of a bubble as it is, it's a very nice bubble. So
No,
uh,
I see LinkedIn to be like the platform where you reach out to people who are like sort of at your level. Like, okay, you talk to fellow engineers or like people who sort of essentially belong to your space in a way, or like people who you are permitted to reach out to in a way.
I
And Twitter is like a ladder, right? You can talk to practically anybody, and there's a high chance of them responding.
You can do it on LinkedIn too. Like there are a few professors that I messaged and I was able to get responses from them. So it's like I feel like Twitter is a primary source of connecting with people, and then like whoever is important, like whoever you think is important, and you would like to reach out to them and you can't, then LinkedIn is
Right.
the secondary source, and then the last resort would be like emailing someone, right? That's how I think. That's
Right.
how
No,
I
I
think.
think emails are still fairly underutilized. I mean,
Absolutely.
as much
Yeah.
as we have promotional emails and things bombarding our inbox, but I think Gmail and
Mm.
all the email clients have become fairly good at classifying them outside. Right? So whenever you send a cold email, there's a good chance if it's good, they sort of it lands in the right
Uh,
inbox.
emphasis on the good email, because like when I was younger, I absolutely sucked at writing emails. But like, yeah, you have to be very very direct to the point, and like you really have to write something that gets their attention, because these are busy people. Like they have probably like 1,000 emails asking for their time and attention. So you, yeah,
Interesting.
emails underutilized definitely.
Oh, I had this interesting. So I think we can start digressing because I think we have covered most of the things. I think let's let this conversation flow till we sort of exhaust. Okay, so the idea is so me and Akshay was speaking some time back, and then we were like, okay, cold email seems still one of the more underutilized forms of communications young founders sort of end up using, and the ones that do, they end up getting a lot of results out of it. And I think the results are out in public. You can sort of always there's this thing called coldemails.world, run by Siddharth Haldar. This is a cool. So you know about him. Interesting. So this is it's a great repository of the best cold emails and the
Mhm.
replies that people got. And we need to subscribe once for lifetime, and you can read all of those. So our idea was, okay, you need like one touch point. So if I had to email you, I'd have to have like one common touch point between you and me, where I sort of push that and sort of force that on in the first paragraph, and then sort of move on to what my ask is, right? In a way, so that has a higher chance of converting. There are a bunch of different tricks you can sort of perform, and that involves you knowing about that person, and knowing about someone becomes easy if they're online. And most of the people are online. They're on LinkedIn, they're on Twitter, and you can easily scrape those platforms and sort of build a tool around, making or writing good, cool emails. Do you think that's something which would sell in today's day and age, or do you think the time for that has gone?
Um, I think like it's useful for discovery, like if you want someone's email or someone's contact information in some sense. But like again, like I feel like authenticity wins again. Like you really,
Right.
I think like everyone's tired of reading AI generated emails and text or whatever. So like if it's authentic, I'm sure it will catch the like attention of the person that you're emailing, and they would value that. So like for discovery, sure, but like make sure like
No,
the content.
I think I didn't explain it properly. So discovery, I think it's a solved problem. I think getting someone's email and number is not that hard to do. You can just go to Zoom Info, get a subscription, get your thing done. But what I was saying is, okay, if I had to email you, the email body, the drafting of that email body would have to be in a certain way so that it seems authentic in a way, right? It can't just be like a can't be a random chat GPT email. It'll probably like if you see an M dash, I'm assuming you archive that email or like you delete the email, right? That's probably what most people do. So what if you create a tool which writes good emails? By that I mean you have context about the person, you probably scrape their posts, you probably see what they like, and then write
I,
accordingly.
I have nothing against like AI writing emails, but again, like yeah, the substance, like the core of why you want to reach out to the person should be very well defined. It shouldn't be vague, like because you're asking for someone's time. So be very direct about it. That's all. Like the delivery matters a lot. So I think the medium how you do it, AI, whatever, it's fine. Just make sure the content is
This should
actually.
be a means to an end. Well, that's interesting. I think we'll probably ask the Proxima team to run this experiment, probably build this tool out, because I don't think it will be that hard to build. And let's just see where that goes. But okay, what's next? What can we expect to see on your socials? Are you writing any long form articles soon, which we can sort of look at? I'm
Well,
assuming we are writing a report soon about
yeah,
AI
we're going
partnering,
to
right?
co-author a report together on like the financials of AI and
Right.
how I personally feel like the economics of this make no sense. I feel that LLMs are very useful, but they're not like that useful that you bet your entire economy on it. It's a very, very risky bet, and it's already not paying off. Like you see, Oracle just laid off like 20% of the workforce because the debt that they raised, they can't pay it back, and their bonds have gone to absolute crap. So, very concerning. And this is something I've seen firsthand. I interact with a lot of like data center companies. I've talked to like a lot of these sorts of people, and I'm just deeply concerned about everything else. So yeah, that's one article that we'll write together. And apart from that, on my social media, I want to talk a lot about. So I've sort of been AFK for the past year or so,
Why is that?
because honestly, I didn't have much to write about. I quit my job in June. This was at a fintech company,
Mm-hmm.
and ever since I've just been exploring a bunch of things, investing in a few companies, looking at like investments that I've already had with my family in companies, things like that. And I guess now it's time to reveal what I've been working on. All the companies that I know, from nuclear energy to healthcare and consumer. and fashion and whatnot. Like I'll be writing a lot about that. So yeah, lots of side quests, so to speak. So that's what's been going on.
Yeah, I think video content would do well around these areas. I mean, day in life of a 22 year old engineer investor. I think that's something which people would like to see. What do you think about
Sure, sure, sure. Like lots of interesting things to talk about, lots of things I've learned, lots of things I've like lots of mistakes and whatnot. So yeah, would love to talk about that. And I'll be writing a lot about it as well. It's just that I've been waiting for the right time and I feel like it's now, or maybe like a few months. Let's see.
that? Reminds me of you wear a lot of hats, right? And by that I mean you were sort of involved in a consumer company like D2C, like a proper D2C company which deals in snacks. Am I allowed to reveal the name, or that's still
Sure,
uh,
it's there on the shelves there. It's called Native Nuts.
right? So
You don't,
my
it's,
question was, हाँ बोलो बोलो बताओ.
I was saying it's not a D2C company right now, but yeah.
It's not.
Okay. Not right now.
Achha, right. Okay, interesting. So the idea is ki, okay, so I'm assuming you would be using your distribution or building Native Nuts own distribution. I'm assuming it's still Native Nuts own distribution which is driving everything. So when do you plan to sort of mix the two? Do you even plan to mix the two? Like how do you look at it? Okay, I'm an engineer investor profile on Twitter. How do I sort of convert to like a D2C founder eventually?
Uh, so the thing is like it's a very weird way. This is Native Nuts makes chana jhor and makhana, and the thing
Right.
is like chana jhor is like it's an old person snack, right? I don't think the younger audience really eats chana jhor, for example, or makhana. I'm sure some like it's something that everyone eats. But anyway, like again, I'm just doing this as like a side quest, so to speak. Right now, it's not a D2C company. It's
Mm-hmm.
sold in retail stores and whatnot. If you want to do it with like if you want to do D2C, then it's going to be a very different game. And honestly, I just want to explore it. I just want to try and do D2C. That's all the content is going to be. It's nothing like nothing with an aim, like an
Right.
aim or such.
Is it
That's
fair
what's
to say you're running a couple of experiments because you have, just curiosity
very
and
frankly, yeah.
right?
I really like intellectual stimulation. Like I'm bored. I want to do things, and this is something I'm just trying to do. And I have scaled my brand before, so I'm just going to give this a shot. That's literally all. There's nothing else.
No, that's super cool. I think we can probably entertain a few questions if there are any. Twitter live chat never works, but we have like 30 people watching us, which is
Cool.
15 on Twitter, and then let me see how many on YouTube. Let me just quickly open that up. Hey guys, any questions? Just like drop them in the chat. I'll quickly read those. And 1 second. We have one from long back about AI X blockchain. Do you think that's something that's going to be uh, happening anytime soon? I'm assuming that's already happening. So I think Rohan was asking this question, so you might shed some light on it.
Very frankly speaking, I think like a lot of like crypto stuff is just a fugazi. It's just like how do you generate enough hype to then like pump up your token, like your crypto token,
Right.
and like eventually exit. Crypto AI makes absolutely no sense to me. Like I don't think there's a single interesting use case there. People are trying to like verify outputs of LLMs using the
Mm-hmm.
blockchain, which makes no sense. Like no one asked for that. There's like the limitation of blockchains and AI is just like why would you pay extra for something that adds no value and like you have to pay to use a blockchain? I don't know. I don't think the entire thing makes sense. Some key crypto companies are trying to do like you rent compute, and like I think there has been articles of like it all just being a fugazi. Like I don't know. There's Bit Tensor and like Akash Network. They're trying some things. I really don't know. Some things with inference and all that. But yeah, just
I
not
think the
worth it.
crypto ecosystem is brilliant at distribution, and it's very
Actually,
subtle,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. Like the entire thing of crypto is just marketing. That's all. Uh, so I'll tell you, the only three things I find interesting in crypto are Bitcoin, stable coins, and hyperliquid. So it's like all financial
Mm-hmm.
products. I don't see anything else being really all that useful. So
What makes crypto marketeers so good? Like what are certain things we can learn from them and sort of implement? I mean, apart from the rug pulls, of course, but things which actually convert, right? So what are certain things which we can learn from these guys?
I actually don't think crypto marketing is all that great. Like, I mean, it's creative and all, sure, but like, in order for you to market something, you need to have something substantial, like something with substance, right? Like,
Right.
Tesla. You can say a lot of things about Elon Musk, but Tesla objectively made some of the best electric cars at some point. They did no marketing, and it sold really well. It's the most valuable company in like electric. Sorry, it's the most valuable automobile company in the world. And like, I think like good marketing starts from a good product, and like very few crypto products have good things in them. Like Hyperliquid, for example, no marketing, but still one of the best crypto projects out there. Bitcoin just marketed itself. Like I really don't think like you had to sell Bitcoin to anyone. Uh, Crypto marketing is it feels good on the outside because it's all botted
Right.
and it's all just like it's all automated. It's not real. So I wouldn't look at it. And I
Interesting.
guess like,
Right.
I would say like if you gave everyone free money, of course they would want to like use your product for that free money. So like
That's
yeah,
true. I think
that's
there's a lot of people are waiting for like the information arbitrage in a way in crypto, and that's one of the reasons why they're incentivized to read or like see everything that's posted, and that sort of also adds layer as to why people end up reading or like giving so many impressions. At least that was my initial read, but I can definitely
it's
be
all incentives. Yeah, it's just that if you're getting free money, then you would be interested in something, right? So that's why crypto
right.
marketing works, but it doesn't really. So
I
yeah.
think you're frozen. Wait 1 second.
No, no, I'm here.
Can you like? Yeah, I think it's here.
Okay, I was just saying that yeah, it's simple. Like it's all incentives. Like yeah, crypto
Interesting.
people
So
have
let's
it.
say let's like 20 or 30 people are watching us. Okay, I'm assuming there are a couple of founders here who uh, have not built a brand so far, do not post often. So what experiment would you recommend these guys sort of make in the next couple of days to sort of see what works and what doesn't for their profiles?
I think try sharing like some of your failures. That could be very interesting content. And don't share the typical failures that okay, like you made an accounting mistake. Like that's like it's not something that something would be interesting, but that accounting mistake led you to something else. And like if you have a good hook and then you're able to build that story, you're able to tell that story properly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is something that people would love seeing. Like and especially if you're building something in a very interesting niche, like some very niche thing in biology or some niche thing in nuclear energy, something like that. Like I'm sure there's people that are interested in it, and I can say that from experience. Like people like geeks would love to know about your story. So tell it in a very interesting way. Like take some time out, and like it'll do wonders for you. Like the amount of people you'll get connected with, blah blah blah. It's just like and it's also really fun. Just need to put some effort into it.
No, 100%, right? I mean, I think one of the founders who do this brilliantly well is Lightfold. I mean, you should check Lightfold's blog. I think Anand reposted something like yesterday. And
Is this
okay, there was
sponsored by Lightfold?
what?
Is this live stream sponsored by Lightfold?
No, no, Lightfold. No, they're not sponsoring this live stream. But yeah, so really, really cool blogs, which are very
No, but
information
the
dense.
part. Yeah, I agree. Like,
And there's a different type of founder which does not post, and that's also like it's interesting how some founders just do not require you know, public distribution in a way because their work sort of doesn't require that because they might be dealing in ecosystems which do not require you to be sort of seen. Uh, I'm talking
the
about like founders from the sort of energy space where they're dealing with conglomerates and essentially trying to defeat cabals which exist in the entire energy ecosystem. I think that's an
Mhm.
exception. But when you're building anything which is one sexy because okay biotech is sexy. I mean people want to look at drug discovery and that's the new hot thing. I think
Yeah,
capitalizing on
peptides.
that is
Peptides are it. Yeah. So I'd
100%.
say the corollary to that would be like, even if your business is B2B, like at the end of the day, your customer is still a consumer. A business is also a
Hmm.
consumer. So like
Right.
any form of marketing helps. Like, if you're making fucking like take diesel generators, for example, right? I'm sure if you like Caterpillar on Instagram, that they make excavation machines and all that. They have 1.7 million followers. Why do you think they need a following? But it does permeate into like people's minds, and like people remember, oh yeah, like Caterpillar, the very nice excavation machine. I just saw it, and like the people that buy it are at the end of the day humans. So good marketing helps everywhere. So I would say like distribution always helps, but like first have some substance before you go out and like do marketing, right? So,
Well, that's true. I think we can sort of take a few more case studies. Like, what is that? What are certain founders you follow who are like brilliant at doing distribution? Be it personal branding or like company branding. Like, what is something you've
uh,
really seen?
I think Dhruv Bindra does like an amazing job with distribution, like the things he's doing with Zamana.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's it's one of the. I'm assuming it doesn't take him that much time to record the video, and every video gets like so many views. Right? I think the effort to output
He
the
just
video is
has a,
brilliant.
I think there's a brilliant pipeline and a team around him to do content. And like, I mean, his like sort of product is very consumer centric, right? So you do need marketing. It's the backbone of a business. So that's there. I really like his content. I mean, people love to take shots at Cluely, but I think like one of the things that like, I mean, uh, Cluely is another story, but like I think the distribution Roy Lee built is absolutely nuts. Like maybe the best ever, I would say, like in terms of like recent startups that I've seen. So like
I think they
really perfect.
pivoted to that, right? So they pivoted to a pay to post app, if I'm not wrong. Right now, that's what they're building, which is incredible. So you essentially you get paid to post videos, and based on the views, you sort of you get the money. So I think this is like a this was a scattered ecosystem. This used to operate on Discord. I'm sure you know it was a complete crypto ecosystem where certain companies, mostly negative brands, just to come in and say, okay, you make a video on us, be it a reel, whatever, and you'll get paid per thousand views. And this was completely crypto driven. I think they're just doing that, but in a more organized sense, on like a proper app where the average consumer who doesn't deal with crypto or doesn't want to do negatives, can get into this ecosystem. At least this is my read. What do you think about the paper post business model? It seems very interesting to me.
I think it's pretty cool. Like you get paid as per the results that you bring. It's a very interesting way to do UGC. So like yeah, Cluely amazing at marketing. Like those guys have like done a fantastic job. At the same time, I will say like I think maybe they focus a bit too much on marketing and slightly lesser on the product. I've not used Cluely, but like yeah, I think that's another example where they've done like just amazing. If I think about other founders, like like if you, I don't know, take Elon Musk for example. Like I think the best example of founder-led marketing, like his entire wealth is just built on his Twitter following and his like the soft power that he has because of his Twitter and whatnot. So like say what you will about him, but he has absolutely marketed himself in a very eccentric and like interesting way. So I guess that counts.
Interesting. Oh, 100%. I think circling back to Cluely, I think when you're building a product which is just so in such a crowded space, I think everybody tried to do meeting notes or like meeting assistants for salespeople, meeting assistants for whatsoever, right? And in a space like that, I think the only thing that would sort of help you be seen or even like be remembered, because I mean I can't even recall the names that do the same thing, right? There's like what 2-3 companies which do the same thing
Yeah,
as Cluely at this exact same price point, but you
yeah,
still
because
remember Cluely.
technically it's like it's just an LLM wrapper, right? You're doing the exact same things, so that doesn't change all that much. So again, yeah, it's just like what the vibe of your product is, and that's largely marketing, right? So
Fair point. Okay, there's another question. I think your crypto followers are bombarding our chat. This one guy asking, "What are your thoughts on Soul?"
Solana, cool tech. I think they're like new perp stacks that has Phoenix Trade. Yeah, it's not a new perp stacks, but that's an interesting project. Uh, Good for like stable coin transactions and all that. Soul is cool. I really like the community there as well. One of my favorite crypto projects. So yeah, good stuff.
Interesting. Cool. Let me just quickly check the live chat on YouTube. Let me see if you have any more questions. Anything specifically else you would want to discuss? apart from what we already did?
I think like I can talk a bit about like what not to do on social media. Like I think
Right.
everyone gives advice on what to do, but like I think the single most important thing is like don't lose your authenticity. Like don't chase clout. Like trust me, like followers and whatever the dopamine hit that you get by seeing all these likes and whatever, and like other people getting clout, it's meaningless. It's
Right.
very it's like instant gratification. It's like eating junk food. It does not. It feels good in the moment, but it doesn't really lead to anything. So when you post, like, do not try to sound like an expert in something you're not. Like, just be very authentic. You don't have to. You don't have to try to be someone else. So be careful about these things. And I would say like just don't engage in unnecessary arguments and things like that.
Right.
So yeah.
Interesting. There's another guy. Okay, Harshit is asking, uh, "Hi Pratham. Okay, if you talk about distribution of product or SaaS, like if you were sort of marketing a SaaS tomorrow, be it
Mhm.
like let's assume it's one step ahead of just an LLM wrapper. So I mean that layer is cleared. It has some substance, and that's I think majority of founders, right, who want to build distribution, right? So how would
Mhm.
you sort of go about it? I think
I
this
think
I'm assuming
depends
that's
on
what
what
Harshit is
kind of.
asking.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of SaaS it is. If it's like a dev product, like again, like first of all, understand the audience, like your consumers that you're marketing for, empathize with them. So, for example, if I take like a developer-related product, I would make sure that the developer experience is immaculate, like it's perfect. Like in today's age, like you would want if you build like a JavaScript framework or something, you want it so that you can use it very easily with Claude or GPT 5.5 or whatever. If it's like a it's a SaaS for I don't know marketers, and make sure you understand like the pain points of marketers, and you really like try to solve a problem there, and you you show that in your marketing. That's something you constantly like talk about. Like essentially, what I'm getting at is that you have a north star. Like that is the core thesis of why you're building the SaaS, and that's what you like really rally everything around. Then you can do collaborations with like influencers who are in the similar space, um, and just try to like show yourself as a leader in the space. I think like that's what really
You think
works.
Reddit is slept upon? I think for SaaS, Reddit is the best way to get your initial 50 users.
I think Reddit is really good. Hacker News is really good. Like, whenever you Google something, like one of the very first results you get is Reddit. Like, let's say I'm trying to see like three different I don't know, like database options, for example. Like a Reddit reply is like a thread is probably one of the first things I'll see. So if you're deciding between Superbase, Convex, like the first thing you'll see is a Reddit link. So I agree, Reddit is pretty good. Yeah,
There's this thing called Okra. Okra AI is like Bhendi, like Okra are the same budget.
yeah, yeah.
These guys are doing automated Reddit campaigns for your product. So essentially, they scour the entire Reddit space and figure out where the reply would make sense. Okay, hey, this is how you solve it, and this is the link to the product. I mean, you can buy. I mean, I think that's where you get the highest conversion. At
Yeah.
least Reddit,
Also,
because everybody's
like
serious there.
if you're marketing for like a SaaS, like make sure like again choose your audience carefully, like who is going to use your product. So if it's a developer related product, I think like Instagram probably not as high signal. Twitter and YouTube would be the best options there. If you're doing like a B2C sort of SaaS, I don't know, maybe Instagram's better there, Facebook is good. So again, like market on the right platform. So like yeah, you choose carefully.
Super. I think we have exhausted most of our topics.
Yeah.
But so yeah, thank you so much for joining, Pratham. It's exactly 5-1. So interesting. We have 65 people watching. We'll just do a last call for questions. If anybody has any questions, guys,
Missing
just
two
put
more
them ready.
people.
You see
Just
what?
two. We're missing two more people. It's 65. It should have been six.
No, I mean exactly. Internet is such a beautiful thing where a number can just become a meme. Like that, it's just a number. Like there's nothing. There's nothing interesting about it. It's just one number, and okay, that's a meme altogether. I think memes would definitely be an
No,
interesting
good from a
subject.
market.
Yeah, 100%. I think Cred has managed to figure out that very well, and that's partly because they had like the best team to sort of build the ads. But I think that's what you get after being
Well,
chronically online and
this
understanding
is
internet
something
culture well.
this is something that we should talk about in another live stream. We can just go talking about startups or whatnot, like more long form content
Okay.
ideas.
See, okay, I just got. Oh, we are at 67 viewers. I think that's
Finally,
a, I think that's a solid way to sort of end the stream. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been great. Thanks, Pratham, for joining. We'll probably cut some clips out of this and sort of make sure we get our own distribution. So thanks for that. So yeah, looking forward to see you in the Twitter space that we do in a couple of days.
awesome. Sounds good, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
solid. Bye bye.